Good morning, everybody. This song absolutely bangs. I'm into this. This is good stuff. How are we doing, everybody? Is everybody ready for some AOS reveals? I love this. Anyway, we're not here to just listen to music that absolutely slaps. But for those of you who are interested, this is a song called Maverick by Dylan Knighton. Spelt Knighton. Anyway, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. It's AOS 4 day, baby. We're about to see the entire box. They're going to unveil the whole thing, which is very, very exciting. I believe the stream is happening in 55 minutes. So before that, we're going to get excited. We're going to talk. We're going to hang out. You guys are going to be awesome. I'm going to be sort of okay. Yeah, you can tell me, what are you excited for with this box? Vlad von Karstein has become a member. Like an absolute hero boss. And also, Star Pilot, before the stream even began, dropped 20 of the finest gifted memberships. So we're off to an incredible start. Thank you very, very much. Both of you, Star Pilot and Vlad von Karstein, you guys are the best. We are on 519 memberships. 81 to go till we hit 600. 181 to go until we hit 700. We are also on 28 likes on the stream. And as always, guys, our first target is 50 likes. That's a 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. We're looking for 50 likes. Our second one is 69. So if you want to get us to our second mark, we need 69 likes. So please, if you are able to, donate a like to the stream, because it's free. It's a great way to support the channel. Vlad von Karstein has then donated 5 of the finest US dollars, saying, thank you for being the Bob Ross of models. You got me to start painting even though I naturally shake. I'm very glad I could help you, Vlad. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Thank you very much for the high compliment, Bob Ross of miniature painting. I always appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I know it's unlikely, but I really hope we get some sniff of new Cities of Sigmar models. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to see like much else other than the main box. We might see 1 or 2 extra things. Might see a little bit more of a deep dive into the rules, but really what we're going to see is the entire contents and all the models that are inside that box. So the show will start in 55 minutes. Yes, Daniel. 53 minutes and 26 seconds, to be precise. The Ruination Chamber will open. Question mark. But for some reason, this isn't working. Interesting. This is going to be fun. Anyway, so, what have I been up to? Well, I've been editing videos today, getting ready for Warhammer World this weekend. But what I did do, guys, is some of you who've been around on the channel for a long, long time will recall that on February 15th of 2023, I did a stream called Let's Paint Varangard. And with that model, I have finally actually finished it. So it only took me 15 months to do. There you go. Isn't that exciting? So, one Varangard is done. So we're going to go on and do the other 2, of course. And I've started this one because I don't need to film all 3. I'm just going to film the one because they're all basically the same. That's a lot of trim. Oh boy, it's a lot of trim. Do you know what has even more trim? This one. The one that I'm going to film. That is a lot. That is a lot of trim right there. It's a heck of a lot of trim. Monadeer77 has gifted 10 memberships. You guys are absolutely rocking it tonight. Thank you very, very much, Monadeer77. That is very kind of you. He puts us on 529. Incredible. Incredible stuff. Are you using your streamer intuition there, Josh, about the preview? No, genuinely, I know absolutely nothing about this one. However, I can intuit some guesses. I can have some guesses. And also make some predictions. The big question, I think, on everybody's lips tonight is this going to be a live stream? Or is it going to be a pre-recorded set of videos where they introduce themselves every single time? And certain presenters lunge at the audience every time they start a video. Where they go... will you record a video lesson with the Kroot Lone Spear? I started to paint Kroot with your videos and really love it. Thanks a lot. Daniel, you're in luck. If you wait until Saturday at 7:30 PM, you'll see a video called Contrast Plus How to Paint the Kroot Lone Spear. I put that video... I literally just uploaded that video. So it's now scheduled for Saturday. Travis Woodside has gifted 20. It's a super chat of $20. Incredible. I can gift, so spread this out if you could. I will spread it out. I will make sure that it lasts the next couple of weeks. Good morning, Gary Smithson. You guys are thinking it's going to be pre-recorded. I watched the Tufts video after the fact. I hope someone referenced the Tufty Club. I don't think anyone did. Mr. ADR Wargaming is here, everybody. Hello, Adam. Are you going to stay up for the previews? Is this pre-recorded? No, it's not pre-recorded. I can prove to you that it's not pre-recorded right now by... I don't know. Literally, like... I can do something, I guess? Will you be doing the Fell Riders soon? Yes, Vlad. The Fell Riders video is filmed. They are painted. They are based. That will come out next week. The Fell Riders video. I think the reveal stream will be post-recorded. Good point. Prove it by reading chat. Now, as I've discovered in my years of service, sometimes even if you're reading the chat, some people still don't believe that it's not pre-recorded, especially when it comes to gameplay. It's very funny. It's very interesting. Are you going to release how to paint videos on the Stormcast or the Skaven first? So, Eccles, J Eccles. Usually, what I do with these boxes is I alternate it. So, because it will be... Let's have a guess, right? Let's have a quick... So, if we assume, right, we've seen from the Stormcast that there's the Liberators, there's the Prosecutors, there's the Vigilators... No, Reclusians, that's what they're called. Vigilors is something else, and Vigilators is something completely different. So we've seen those three. We've also, I'm going to guess that there's at least 2 characters in there, maybe another third one, but at least 2 for the Stormcast. So that'll be 5 for them. Skaven, I would imagine, would have like 5 or 6 other things. So usually what I will do is I will go, because it's a lot of content, if I just stick to 2 a week, you end up with, you know, whatever this box is called, content just going on for months. So with this, what it'll go is it'll just go every day for however many there are, whether it's 10, 12, 14, 8, whatever, however many units there are in the box. It'll just be that every day. So there'll just be content every single day for this box. And it'll alternate one by one. If we then branch out even further into, say, we're going to do Scryer and Pestilence and Eshin, that draws it out even further, if you see what I mean. So We'll have to figure it out. We'll have to, we'll see tonight. We'll know in about an hour's time. Any chance you'll do them in Anvils of the Heldenhammer? Oh, possibly. It depends. I need to see the miniatures, you know. I don't know if I want to have another Stormhost at this point. I've got 3 already, and I just did get rid of an Anvils of the Heldenhammer box. But there's every chance that some of it might just look so good in Anvils that I might just go for it. Depends on the characters, I think. Is this stream pre-recorded? Yes. Hello, random salutation. Let's guess the names for the box. I think I know what it's called. My guess, and I've said this before, my guess for this box is that it's called Vermin Doom. Because they've mentioned that name before, and it hasn't come up anywhere else. So it wouldn't surprise me if it is called Vermin Doom, because you look at Indomitus, that was named after the Indomitus Crusade. You look at Leviathan, it's named after Leviathan. Dominion was slightly different, because it's like, why? Why is it called Dominion? But yeah, I think it's going to be called Vermin Doom. Sewer and Steel. Yes, James. Ratius Gittus. Eki Patung. Yeah, my guess is Vermin Doom. Furry and smooth. Yeah? Age of Sigmar 4, Milton Keynes, fantasy battles in an age of an ending war. In an age of an ending mediocre towns. Why are you hating on Milton Keynes? Rataclysm. Rataclysm would be good. I like it. I like it. If they have tiers of box, big box Vermin Doom, medium box Vermin Irritation. Little one, Vermin Inconvenience. Vermin Perturbation. Garagax Retributor. I like it. I like it. Cheese and Stone. Strong. Strong. All of these are strong options. Do I need to reboot my Stream Deck? Is that something that needs to happen? Why are you waiting for OBS? Is OBS just giving up? Maybe if I unplug it, that will help. The problem is I don't know where it's plugged in. I missed my buttons already. There it is. Nope. I bet the start recording button works, though. No, it doesn't. I'm glad I haven't been doing filming today, because that would have really irritated me. Vermination. I like it. Sharp Steel raids Garagax sewers. Shining Grime. Shining Grime. Very good. Very good. Like it. I like it. Alright. I need to actually just make sure I've got Twitch open, don't I? Because if I don't, we're going to miss the beginning and you'll all laugh at me, be very disappointed in your favourite YouTuber. There we go. Make sure I've got it. Shush. I don't want to see that. There we go. I want to say that your work is absolutely amazing and I really enjoy to paint with your tutorials, but oh my god, contrast paints are so expensive. No, I get that. The thing I have found, though, in recent times is that my contrast paints last longer than my base and layer paints, 100%. Especially my metallics. I go through metallics really quickly because everything has metal on it somewhere, right? So I think the thing I've bought the most in the last like 3 years is probably Iron Warriors and Retributor armor. Lead Belcher's up there. Iron Hand Steel is close. Liberator Gold, Stormhost Silver, all of these. Rune Lord Brass as well. I'm just buying them all the time. The one I probably buy the most from contrast is Black Legion, because again, nearly every single model seems to have black details on it, so, you know, is what it is. What's the one thing you're hoping for tonight, Josh? I'm hoping that we see a new Lord Celestant. That's what I'm hoping. I don't care if it's riding something or if it's on foot. I'm wanting to see a new Lord Celestant. Because I believe the old Lord Celestant has been, well, is going to be moved over to Legends. So there must be a replacement, right? Because a Lord Celestant is basically a captain. It's basically a Space Marines captain, right? So there needs to be a new Lord Celestant. I'm hoping we see that tonight, but I suspect what we will see is Lord something or other of the Ruination Chamber, and then a Lord Celestant will be something that comes later. You think we're getting new Stormcast Cavalry? I would doubt it in this box, but I wouldn't be surprised in the after box releases, because remember, what we should see in this box is a few bits, but then anything that's Warrior Chamber will probably get a multi-part kit further down the line. Is usually how these things work. The one you buy most must be Sterling Battlemire. I wish Sterling Battlemire still existed. Instead, it's Sterling Mud. Griff Cab would be cool to see. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Josh, did you decide what to take to the paint competition? No. And my friend Chris is trying to persuade me to take Archaon. And it's just such a big model. Have you guys ever seen Archaon in the flesh? If you've never seen Archaon in the flesh, Archaon is bigger than the Warhound Titan you can see on my shelf. Here he is. Hello, Peter. How you doing, buddy? I was telling Liam that this model is bigger than the Warhound Titan. He didn't believe me. Well, it's bigger than the Warhound Titan. So yeah, Chris was like, you should just take Archaon. I'm like, oh, but he's so big. Archaon is as big as my head. Yeah, and I have a massive head. This should give you scale as to how big my head is. I knocked over Bellacore on the way out. That's not good. You're okay, Bellicor. Oh, that's where my Horus Ascended went. I've been wondering about that. Cool. He's safely away now. What do you do with all the models you paint? Do you keep them all? Pretty much. There is going to be, when I get a weekend to myself, there is going to be there is going to be a weekend where I kind of just go, this one can stay, this one can go, because, you know, I have my armies that I want to collect, and I have bits and bobs of lots of different things here and there, which at the moment I really love. I love all of my miniatures. I love every single one, but I should really send them out to people who want them, because they'll have a happier home, especially if they get used on the table. Will you put them up for auction to us? Yes. Yeah. But what I won't do is, like, you know, what I've been gearing towards doing is either doing one massive raffle where there's like 100 prizes, or doing 100 different raffles so that people don't win the thing they don't want. If you see what I mean? So, like, if you want to win, I don't know. If you want to win a Lord of Hubris, for example, you don't end up but you win a raffle ticket, but you win a Realm Gore Ritualist. Do you see what I mean? So that's probably how I'll figure it out. Getting rid of that Killbow. At the moment, no, Pete McF. It's all part of Project Spearhead. If I get rid of that, I'll have to paint another one. I was working on my Gnash Tooth and watched your video today. Straight into the trash. No, Travis, yours is lovely. Yours is lovely. Do you have any Cruel Boys left? What, left to paint? Yeah, I do have some, actually. I've got like 20 Gut Rippers. And I need to buy a Swamp Boss Scumdrek. Abraxia, where are you? I know. She's lost. She's lost in the warp somewhere. I'm sure she's on the way. Have you done a Gandalf the White tutorial? No, that's something I'm going to do in the coming weeks. So I've got to paint a Chaos Lord and a Chaos Chariot for Project Spearhead. And then I'm going to do some Middle-earth. Will you do a How to Paint Your Spearhead box series? Yeah, KB. So my plan is I've done 7 Spearheads now. And, you know, because I've already got, the rest of it's already got videos, if you see what I mean. So, like, for example, the Seraphon one. I've already done Saurus Warriors and I've already done Croxigor. So the only thing that was left was to do this. Which I have now done. So I'm going to get that video together, put it up, and then it will go into a playlist, which is How to Paint Spearhead, and then I'll put them all in order, so you've got, like, you've got the blocks. Please don't do any more Cruel Boys. No, I mean, I won't for a while. So, yeah, Carnosaur's on its way. So yeah, I've just been slowly, like the last couple of weeks, I've been filling in spearheads. The ones that I have already done. No, I mean Cruel Boys for auction. Oh, at the moment, maybe we'll see. We'll see. I do quite like the Auric Warclans. What I need to see is how Auric Warclans are going to work in the next box, in the next edition. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Dark Oath video was awesome, by the way, Josh. Oh, thank you, Frothy Paints. Thank you for the Dark Oath. You are very welcome, Jasmine. There's one left. It's the Fell Riders. It's on its way. It'll be here next week. Orcs don't work. They just fight, and fighting is fun. Yeah, you're not wrong. No, I just want to see how you build their armies. Because, as some of you will know, one of the things we've been working towards here at Warhipster Towers is having a broad spectrum of different armies, so that in the future, when we add gaming content to the channel, doing lots of battle reports and all that kind of stuff, once we get to that stage, I want to have a broad spectrum of armies so that visiting people can come and play. They can use one of the armies I've already got, or they can bring their army and we can do something that makes sense. So rather than just me having like 8,000 points of Stormcast Eternals and just being like, yep, every week we're going to have Stormcast Eternals, I basically want to, at the point of where we add battle reports and gaming content, just be like, yeah, we're good to go for like, we've got like 10, 15, if you see what I mean. And as it stands at the moment, I have Flesh Eater Court, for Age of Sigmar at least, I have Flesh Eater Courts at over 2,000 points, Stormcast Eternals at over 2,000 points, Cities of Sigmar at close to 2,000 points, Sylvaneth at 2,000 points, Alice has her Nighthaunt, that's over about 3,000. What else have we got? Oh, and if I throw together all of my destruction stuff, so the Ard Boys and the Cruel Boys, that is over 2,000 points at the moment. So Nighthaunt, Soulblight, Gravelords are also something I'm going to be working on. It's just finding the time to do it. But I have all the things I need to put together like 2,000 points. So, yeah, there's... From an Age of Sigmar perspective, we're close. Oh, Slaves to Darkness, we're pretty good to go on. Blades of Khorne, if we're doing Khorne Demons, we're good to go on. As for the rest of it, we don't know yet. Maggot Kingdom Nurgle's sort of either nearly there or nowhere near. It depends on points, really. So yeah, that is the plan from an Age of Sigmar perspective. From a 40k perspective, we're obviously Chaos Demons. We're massively over. We're well into the requirements to build Chaos Demons armies. Blood Angels as well. Astra Militarum, we're good to go on. Leagues of Votann, we're nearly good to go on. Adeptus Custodes, we're good to go on. Tau, I have everything that I need for Tau. I just need to build and paint it. Chaos Space Marines as well. I have everything I need to do like 4,000 points of Chaos Space Marines. It's just I haven't had the time. So at the moment, my Chaos Space Marines collection consists of Abaddon and 10 Night Lords. You also have literally all my armies. I have 2 of yours. I have Adam's Orcs to do, and I have 10 Zangors to do for you, Adam. Or do you mean I have access to all of your armies? Because you have every army in 40k. Disciples of Tzeentch. Yeah, we're kind of there for Disciples of Tzeentch. I have 20 Pink Horrors, a Lord of Change, Kairos Fate Weaver to do, a Change Caster, and 9 Screamers. And again, for Hedonites of Slanesh, I have 30 Demonettes, 9 Fiends, a Keeper of Secrets, the Mirror, and so on and so forth. So I can run them, it's just they're all demons, and really you want to have some of the mortals in there as well. Good evening, Mini Painting Dad, or good morning. You shall have my sword. Yes, James. Recommendations for fun lore reason for 40k doubles. Why two factions would play together. Yeah, I mean, I think in 40k you can almost make a justification for everything apart from an Imperium, well, like Grey Knights and Chaos. You can't really do that. Whereas like you can do well, I suppose Death Watch and Xenos as well. They're not really the best of friends. But like, you know, Space Marines have been known to, I mean, have you played Dawn of War? Are you going to do a painting tutorial on Liberators when the model is just a weapon swap from Vindicators? I am, J Eccles. I am. I am indeed. But obviously, like from a allies perspective, any Imperial factions can work together. Eldari and Drakari, they've been known to occasionally join forces. Harlequins as well. I mean, they're part of the Eldari Codex, but that's another version of things that you can go for. And then all Chaos can just ally with all Chaos. There is an argument. I've seen it before. I've seen a couple of really fun doubles partnerships of Orcs and Blood Ravens as an homage to Dawn of War, which is always fun. Rolling says, "Hi, I'm from Vietnam. I'm watched your video for a long time. I want to thank you. You give me a lot of motivation to finish almost all my models for a short time. Thank you for your tutorials. Cheers." Thank you very much, Rolling. I'm glad I could help. That's very kind. Also, hello. Should we do that Warhammer TV streaming thing where they say, "Hey, everybody in the chat, tell me where you're drop in the chat where you're tuning in from, because it boosts the chat rate." Quick question from your Dark Oath video from earlier. You used both Black Legion and Black Templar. Is the Black Templar a different tone, i.e. more blue, or is it just thinned down Black Legion? Right, yeah. So they are different tones. Black Legion has got a lot more brown in it. It actually comes out a little bit browner than Black Templar does. But what Black Legion is it's more of a kind of single pigment contrast paint. If you thin it down, it takes on brown tones. Black Legion is just a really good paint for an oppressively black paint for getting black details done really quickly. What Black Templar is it's a contrast paint where there's two pigments in it. The darkest pigment in it is black. The light pigment in it is grey. So it comes out with this bluish, it's more of a grey finish to it, and it's more of a bluish grey to it. So if you thin down Black Templar, what you actually get closer to is Mechanicus Standard Grey. If you thin down Black Legion, what you get closer to is Eshin Grey. You see what I mean? So I use Black Legion when I want my details to be black, and I use Black Templar when I want them to be dark grey. Or I can use Black Templar over the top of another contrast paint to create a kind of like a green black or a blue black or a grey black or, you know, whatever. Is essentially the difference between the two. A Christmas mini swap. What are you? Let's see. We've got. Where are you guys? Where are you guys tuning in from? Melbourne, Swindon, near Manchester, United States, Canada, Sweden, Mineola, Texas, Iceland, Marienburg. Tuning in from, where are we seeing? Florida, Texas, Isle of Wight, Canton, Ohio, Puerto Rico, California, Spain, Austria, Italia, Newport, South Wales. Oh, we're not far from each other, random salutation. Just outside Tunbridge Wells. Indiana, Worcestershire. I am in Gloucestershire. How does speed paint Grim Black compare to the contrast black colours? Honestly, Sharts, I don't know how to answer that. It's okay. As I remember. It's pretty good. It's Black Legion, I think, is the best one that we've had so far of a black paint. Just across all of them. It doesn't do the contrast things so much as any of the others. And there are, I think, like Grim Black and Hospitalia Black from Vallejo Express. They're very good. They still do the contrast thing. And at a certain point, you don't actually want the contrast thing to happen. For example, on like armor, for example. So, like, if we look at here, you don't actually want it to do any contrast painting. You don't want any patchiness. You just want it blocked in. So, like Iron Hands, Raven Guard, Black Legion, Slaves to Darkness, like this. You just want it to be a black paint. And so, other than using Abaddon Black or Corvus Black or any other black paint from any other paint provider, Black Legion is the closest I've come to just. I think it's the best one across all the ranges. What I do think Speed Paint has a really good range of is reds. I think they've got a really good range of reds. A nice variation as well. So are any of these buttons working? My soundboard buttons are. Or not. That was really quiet. Adam, you're doing an incredible job of speaking in so many different languages. Like, I do YouTube use it. I have two sounds on it, and they always make me laugh. So if I just turn the music down a little bit, like that, and then I turn the desktop audio up, and then I press these buttons. What we can do tonight is when we're looking at the AOS 4 reveals, we can be like, oh my god, it's the Vermindoom box. You see, and like that's really cool. Or if it's really bad, we can just be like, bruh. What is this? Bruh. I was going to put a load of things on there, but I've only got a little 6-button Stream Deck. I don't have a Steam Deck. And half of my OBS buttons aren't working, which is just really fun. So I guess I probably need to what? Okay. it's just one of those silly... Is it going to work now just because it's... For God's sake, it is now working. Right, good. So we can now press these buttons, which is great. That's good for us. Oh dear. I wonder if you can use a Steam Deck as a stream deck. You probably can. You need a screaming goat button, trust me. Oh, I do. I also want... We're just normal men. But... Actually, you know, the one I'm obsessed with at the moment is... Brother, Just the one swan, actually. Bruh. Brother, anyway, we'll just we'll deal with that in a minute. We'll pop the music back on for a bit. Blood, and bits of sick. Big important question for you. Cities of Sigmar or Cruel Boys for 4th? I'm going into cities assuming they will get more range soon. That is a good question, Chris. I would guess that I mean, I don't know how much cities is going to get this set. I mean, they might get a redo of things like the Dispossessed or the Elves. But I don't know if they will, because those models are, I think, mostly moving into the old world now. Yeah. Skill issue. Yeah, I do need that. I do need that. Bro, you're hacking. So yeah, I think both are great choices. Cities of Sigmar and Cruel Boys. Who knows what's going to happen for the Cruel Boys? I don't know if the Oryx are going to get much in the next year or so, because we've had, obviously, I mean, the Iron Jaws just got basically a full redo. The only thing they didn't, the only thing they didn't get was Gore Grunters. You see the skill issue, and I'm sure I can find it. Let's have a look. Skill issue. Soundboard. There we go, and yeah, fine, and skill issue. Yeah, got it. Skill issue. Cold beans from a tin is another. Frostbite. There's loads. But what I need to do is buy something a little bit bigger than this. Because at the moment... just have the whole of steamed hams. Yeah, but then you run into the risk of, if you have too many good memes, too many popular memes on your soundboard, you run into the risk of getting demonetized because you're using the popular memes. Hey, Nick Main, how you doing? How are you doing? You bought that for your Helldiver stratagems, didn't you? No, I bought it because... Actually, it's been a lifesaver. So when I'm recording, right, I can show you. So when I'm recording, what you'll see now is I'll be painting, right? Hello, Castellan. How are you doing? you'll see what I'm doing when I'm filming, right? Is I'll be like this. So we're going to be using some Cygor Brown. Let's just quickly throw some Cygor Brown on there. So I'll get the whole thing ready like this, and then I've got a little start recording button here. Just press start recording, and we're off to the races. And then I can use not this dried out brush. So then I'll be like, so with all that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Cygor Brown and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the leather details across the entirety of the model. And I try and cut it out every time, so you know you don't go like, wait, where's his hand going? But so for example, I'll apply the Cygor Brown like this, and we'll get this all over. Like that. We'll do that little bit that's just in there, under the arm. Like so. I've got a little bit more to get at. Slightly more tricky to access place. Just under here. Make sure we get it all over. Doesn't really matter at this point because it's going to be covered over with a metallic. There we go. And then we just trust that we're getting the rest of it like that. And then you'll see this, right? And then this hand goes away, and then I can just stop recording. Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative. No, I'll definitely get demonetized if I use that. If it's not by, is it Universal Studio? It will be by, oh god, what's it called? Watch the Throne. Escape to one song and one song only. Bullshit. What? Yeah, no, I did think about getting a foot pedal. But, like, so, obviously the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be upgrading the PC rig very, very, very soon. I'm going to buy it, I think, tomorrow. I didn't buy it on Wednesday, because if we bought it on Wednesday, it would get here on Saturday, and then Alice would panic. Maybe it has started? No, I don't think it has started yet. I think we're good to go. Oh, maybe they've got something on the screen. Hang on. Studio mode. Overhead. Window capture. We want the Twitch. Turn that on. I think that should be okay. One of the best ways to check in this instance is to tell the music to shut up for a minute. There we go. And then we can head over to Twitch. And I can't unmute, so it's not playing at the moment. So that's okay. Alright. I think we're pretty much set up, ready to go. So yeah, we should be about 8 minutes. 8 minutes or so away. NMR 1998. Do you think we will get more than just the starter box reveal today? Maybe a teaser for the first wave of Stormcast Eternals and Skaven, or even something for another faction? It, I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. I suspect it's just going to be the box. It wouldn't even surprise me if this stream is about half an hour long. But who knows? They might go, here's some other stuff that's happening in the Age of Sigmar. We shall see. My first watch along. Usually I don't, but it's nice to be here with Josh and everyone. It's nice to have you here, Lord Billy. Especially when it's going to be a pre-recorded stream. Have I missed the stream? Not yet, Castellan. 7 minutes out. Abraxia pre-order announcement to soothe us. They won't announce it. They never do that in these things. Which is a shame. 55 years old, Josh, and still excited about plastic soldiers. Good, Nick. That's what I love to hear. I don't think I'm ever not going to be excited by Warhammer. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 6, and I still love it to this day. It's absolutely bizarre. And I was like, oh God, in 2 years' time, I'm going to have been doing this for 30 years. Not YouTube. I wish I'd been doing YouTube for 30 years. I'd have millions of subscribers. I'd be financially set instead of financially precarious. Hoping for Abraxia next weekend, as I need 3 more Varangard for a 2K list idea. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I had one for a while that was 3 Varangard, 1 Chaos Knights, and Archaon, and it was the Knights of the Empty Throne detachment sub faction. I thought that was cool, but I was told it was rubbish. I was like, doesn't sound rubbish. Sounds really cool. It's really elite, and it's barely any models to paint. But yeah. I am going to be filming, as I mentioned, if you missed that at the beginning, I am going to be filming the Varangard, so there is going to be a video for that, and I'll be doing that probably after the stream for a little bit, and into next week. I might even do some tomorrow. I've got a pack, but I'm going to do some tomorrow. It's going to be good stuff. Let's see what's going on with the stream now, shall we? Just going to hit refresh. Oh, got an advert, so that means we're looking good for some celebrity boxing, maybe. Fury versus Usyk. Is that how you say that? All right, things are looking promising. I should just leave it muted so I don't immediately get copyright. Do you ever sleep, Josh? No, Gary, because if I did sleep, I wouldn't get anything done. And if I don't get stuff done, then my business falls apart. I sleep between the hours of 4 and 11. Sometimes 10. On a really bad day, I sleep between the hours of 5 and 9. On a really awful day, I sleep between the hours of 6 and 9. And then I'm up and at it again. But that's a really, really bad day. On an average day, I'm in bed by 4. And I wake up at 11. Usually. And then we just get back at it. We're just chasing it. We're just chasing that algorithm. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. We're also trying to get to 700 members. You know? I do this so that eventually one day I can possibly start to make a pension. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Let's see if I can just bump this up a little bit. Yeah, that's good. I will get rid of the... Will I? We can get rid of models painted, can't we? I can stop showing off in that regard. Sub count. Should we just... So we don't want to miss any details. We'll leave them up for the minute. Hello, Mike Holloway. I hope you're well too. I'm very well. What do you think the terrain will be? Right, so it's either going to be actually some sculpted terrain or it's going to be a case of some card. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not card. If it's like, because like, if you buy like the Command Edition or whatever, basically the tray that all the stuff comes in, you flip it over and that's your terrain. I'm hoping it's not that. But I do suspect that it is going to be some cardboard terrain, which is fine, I guess. But you know, you don't want that. Just one big plastic bell. Now hold on. This is not that kind of stream. Michael Williams, you absolute legend, has become a member. Thank you very much, Michael Williams. You round us out now. That puts us on a lovely 530. Which you love to see. We are apparently 1 minute out. 1 minute out from stream o'clock. So I'm just gonna pump up the volume of desktop audio. Like that. And we should be good to go in just a minute. Let's just unmute, see if they're saying anything. Nope, we're getting some copyright music. It's good. You know, for ages, it was the Sounds of Warhammer World that they used on this. So you sat watching it and it'd just be like, I know this so well. Because my shop also had a, when I worked for Games Workshop in Banbury, I also had a CD of the Sounds of Warhammer World. So occasionally you throw it on, it's just like, there is some epic music here, but oh my god. But you have to hear it all day. Yes, Brush of Chaos, congratulations! Congratulations on your new job! Can we get ones in the chat as a congratulations for Brush of Chaos for getting a new job? Yes. Yes, you guys are the best. Best community in the world. Okay, so this is not started. I'm just going to hit the refresh button, see if it has actually started. It's not just me sat on the starting soon screen. No, it hasn't. Oh, it started. Let's go, baby!
Hello and welcome to the Warhammer preview show, The Mortal Realms Reforged. My name's Lewis and I'll be your host for this extra special show, bringing you all the latest news from the Mortal Realms. I'll be checking in with the wonderful folks at the Warhammer studio to see what they've been conjuring up in this brand new edition of Age of Sigmar. The Mortal Realms will never be the same again. So without further ado, let's get things started.
Excuse me. Here we go. Well, I'm just straight in. Love to see it. Liberators. Just go straight forward. They look sick. Night Quester. Not what I was expecting. Okay. What's this one? Lord Vigilant. Seeing you, Lord Grip Stalker. Stormcast Eternals are the best, aren't they? What's you do? Yes. 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 Cruisians. We've seen them. A new Lord Veritans. I've got the old one. It's rubbish. What is that?
The elite champions of the mortal realms have been hurled down by the God King himself. I'm joined by Robin, Phil,
it's a
and
bit hot.
Daz from the Warhammer Studios to chat all
It's a
things
bit warm in here.
Stormcast Eternals. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. So let's kick things off. What do we know about the Stormcast Eternals in this new edition?
So we're seeing some new folks come out this time round. The Ruination Chamber, alongside some classics. The old Warrior Chamber guys, Liberators and Prosecutors.
That's nice.
So the
Oh, look,
Ruination Chamber is
Alexa.
pretty special. They have fought and died time and time again. Every time they get reforged, they lose something. And over time, they become more and more effectively like a weapon, like the mask and the hammer, rather than a human being that they once were.
With the new miniatures from the Ruination Chamber, how have you gone about sort of tonally shifting that kind of from a design perspective?
Well, we wanted them to feel much more brutal and much heavier, so we faceted the armour more, and you'll notice that they're layered up more. And they've got the parchment, which actually carries their deeds on them. We've got the heavy cloaks on them as well.
I like it.
And we've added new weapons we've not seen before as well. So
The new
there's
Lord
something
Veritan
new,
is
something
amazing.
different,
It is an amazing
something heavy and gritty
model.
that we've not really tapped into with the Stormcast too much in the past. So we've got some new characters in there as well.
Yeah, we've got the Lord Terminus, of course.
Lord Terminus.
Yes,
I mean, he's
That
very,
Lord Terminus
very
model.
striking. You notice
Look
straight away,
at
and we've added
that.
some Memorians in there as well.
Those Memorians they're kind of like a squire is to a knight, but
Yeah.
they're there to connect these Reclusians to their history and to their humanity.
That is
And normally they're the
unbelievable.
sort of characters you see in the background in artwork, for example, but we wanted to put them in. We just felt it will reinforce the character and the narrative of the miniatures, but also scaled the miniatures really well. So from a miniatures point of view, if it was the first time that you saw a Stormcast, you'd think that was the size of a man.
Yeah.
But that's the size of a man, so it really does put them in context as well and show how
Blue
great
seam
and
on the
powerful
inside of the coat.
these new
Gives you
Stormcast
up,
are. So, yeah, it was a fantastic set to work on.
usually
The
I
whole
don't
team
even
did a great
bother.
job designing those miniatures. So.
Yeah. That's great. So we've got a different storm host now in the Hollow Knights as well. So
Hallowed
what was
Knights,
the
not the
process
Hollow
of bringing
Knights.
those
Come
new
on.
miniatures to life?
We've seen
Get
our very
it right.
shiny Liberators, forefront, the poster boys of the Rangers. And now how do we get these kind of more grittier feel to it?
Yeah.
So that's what you'll see in the paintings, the texture that has been also sculpted, has been reinforced.
This is what
with
I
that
mean about
paint
these, is like
to make them
the-
have that little bit like, these have been not locked away and forgotten about. That's very much, they're very much still part of the units, but they're saved for those when things like the Nor has like really kicked off.
Yeah.
These are the ones that dragged out. So how do we reinforce that? So you'll see that with some of those
Yeah.
darker tones and the much more tarnished metals. There's
That's
a lot
what I
of
was going to
exploration
say. So
into
like you
how
look
do
at
we represent
the
that.
usually the Hallowed Knights got like a
gritty
bluish
feel.
tint to them,
exactly.
but these
So let's talk a little bit
definitely
about
got like
what can players
a
expect
darker
in the box.
sort of almost
But on
like
the
a
Stormcast
Nulmoy
side,
or
we have
a
almost like two
black,
small forces that have allied together.
grittier, more
And
tarnished
the-
metal is what they
effectively
said.
The call to action guys, the classic Warrior Chamber guys, and then the Reclusians and the Ruination Chamber who've come out to join them, and together, link their shields and
Tarnished,
maybe, just
foul,
maybe, hold back
tarnished,
that ridiculous amount of
smouldering
Skaven that's
with
pouring across
thy
the plains.
eager
And not only that, you
flame.
also get a story. Effectively, you get the story of this fight of the war front that is across the east of the Parch. You're learning a bit more about the journey of the Stormcast. We're not at the end yet, but we are seeing them in their sort of autumn, I suppose.
Yeah.
And yeah, these men and women only have a few more reforgings, and then
Oh no, they
that's
definitely
them.
will.
They
Lord,
would
really.
lose themselves completely.
For me, I think
I
the
think-
whole thing just makes the Stormcast way more appealing. As a painter myself, as a hobbyist, I'm really looking forward to painting some up with all those new textures and things to play with and everything as well. And just the tone of them's changed so much as well. And they're just really
It's
exciting.
Iron Warriors, isn't it? Look at it.
Yeah.
I think the box it gives you much more depth to the Stormcast. As we were saying, we're used to seeing the Liberators. They're still
I'm gonna have to come
exciting.
up with a
so
really,
it's
really cool
updated
colour
their
scheme,
weaponry.
aren't I?
But also with the memoriams.
If they get reforged too many times, do they become
extra kind of
Necrons?
texture.
No, but
we've not
they
seen
go
this
insane,
before.
basically.
So it's just gives a much more deeper view of like the life of a Stormcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Robin, Phil, Daz, thank you so much.
They basically,
for
if they
coming in to chat
get
to us
reforged
about the
too many
Stormcast
times,
Eternals.
they
We
just
really
become
appreciate it.
aspects of the
Don't go
Storm.
anywhere, guys. We've got lots more coming up right after this.
Here we go. Ratty boys. Skaven. You're gonna get a swarm of rats. Clan rats. Yeah, we've seen them. Looking good. Oh my god. Biting my lip, that's weird. Seen the Giselles? That's nice. And we've seen the Warlock Engineer. Yeah, yeah. Rabbit Walkmaster. It's nice to finally see it properly. Here he is. Oh, beast. That's so beautiful. And a grey seer. So that's going to be 20 clan rats, do we reckon? Rats riding rats.
Chaos strikes back in an endless swarm of teeth, claws and matted fur. Yes, the diabolical Skaven are here to gnaw away at the mortal realms. I'm joined by Sergey, Phil and Max from
It's
the
like they
studio
listened to
chat
me when I
about
was
all
like,
things
stop
Ratman.
introducing
Guys,
yourself
welcome to
on
the
every
show.
single
So,
video.
let's jump straight in. What do we know about the Skaven in this new edition and what makes them so much more horrifying than ever before?
So we're seeing them in their billions, literally billions of Skaven are coming out of this thing. And
Billions.
hissing and boiling and pouring over the lands. What we're seeing in this box set is like, imagine the camera zooming in to one part of that huge nation-spanning
Can I say
battle
last
line.
starter box
So we're trying to
seemed more
emphasise
big?
not only the
We'll
Skaven,
find
they've
out.
still got loads of
They're going to give us a
fun
wider
character to
angle
them.
of it, of
They're
how
still
many models
treacherous
are in there.
cowardice, little guys that would just stab you in the back as soon as look at you. But they also are quite horrifying at this point. They're on their best day, and there are just so
Far
many
fewer
of
dudes
them.
in shorts.
So
I
from
completely
a
agree.
painting and sort of scripting
Comic
design
Junior.
perspective, how have you kind of married those two things together?
What we're trying to accomplish basically is to introduce new elements that make them look more rich, more disgusting, more
Stormcaster
vicious,
mounts
but
in
at the same
this
time
are
being
about the
faithful
same.
to the legacy of the reigns, all the key elements that makes them.
If we get 20 clan rats in
special,
there, it will be
typical
about
visual
similar
elements,
in terms of
those
the
little thingies,
models.
But you know, with a new touch, by using the new techniques, the new technologies that we have on our reach right now.
Yeah, that's great. So in terms of painting as well, that must open up some real opportunities.
Definitely. One thing
Yeah,
that we
that's
did
great.
really
Let's move
early
on.
on with coming back to Skaven again after so many years was to really kind of sense check, like if they're in these dank environments, they're not living their best lives, they're not getting all their nutrients, you know, they probably wouldn't look that healthy and that happy. And we're trying to really convey that,
That's
pick up where the
beautiful. I love
sculpting is
that.
left off and dial it up to 11
gorgeous paint
painting,
scheme.
essentially. And that's across the entire thing. Just
Lovely,
really
lovely paint scheme.
digging into like what makes them look really sinister and like how can we bring that believability to what like the core essence of a
They
of a
filmed these
Skaven
during
really
Christmas.
is.
Yeah,
They
and we've
might
got,
have
as
done.
you were saying, like the range is absolutely huge in terms of those new Skaven and some of the classic kits as well. So talk us through some of your like personal favourites.
The Grace here, I think, like that's a big one.
Is it
for
Clan
me.
Moors, is
and
it?
I think because of the legacy of that archetype, you know, like there have been Graciers pretty much as long as there have been Skaven, and there have been different
Shall I learn oil
representations
painting
of
so
that
that I can
throughout the
paint these
years,
with
and to
oils?
see that follow through into this.
I know that's what you
new,
guys would want to
modern,
see, but
in my opinion,
can't.
ultimate version of a Gracier is super exciting, and to be able to work on that is
typical
a dream
wear
come
for a
true,
Nottingham
really.
I
sun.
really loved painting Giselles when I was young, and the idea of the Skaven sharpshooter.
I
is
love
they're
these.
cowards,
I
really,
think
and they
they're-
want to
I
be
think they're
able to make a
fantastic.
difference, but preferably from way at the back. Yeah, exactly. You know, they're just really lovely little duos, and the guns are different this time as well.
Yeah, that would
a
match
bit
up
more
with your
technologically advanced in
Manskewer
places.
Bolt boys.
How about yourself?
Well, my personal favorites basically are two, are the clan rats and the rat ogres.
Yes.
I love the clan rats because they are the embodiment of everything that Skaven society is. They are wretched, they are ugly, they are disgusting, but at the same time they are fierce, when we were considering in the design studio how to make the clan rats,
Use bright,
we were
vibrant
considering
colours and
all
green
those elements,
bases.
those
I mean,
visual
we
language
can
that I
do
mentioned
that.
before. But at the same time, we're trying to consider the customer experience. Every single Skaven clan rat is made of only 2 pieces, 2 parts. And
Two
because all the
pieces?
textures are very graphic and very simple,
Building
even
them
though
will
the
be
model
so
can look very easy, it's actually a pretty simple experience to paint. So with a very limited palette of colors and with even the fewest of the skills of painting, you can achieve a great result with them. And about the rat ogres, I love them because as a
that is a
Skaven collector
gorgeous
myself, I was
model.
waiting for a new kit for ages, and finally we've got those beautiful models that also come with several options. You can build them in different ways. This time
Optionals?
along, when
Don't normally
designing
get
the rat
that.
ogres, they are a mixture of gorillas and rats. They are a perfect mix between bipeds and quadrupeds. So when you look at the anatomy, don't expect big pectoral muscles. They are just weird and strange.
Oh,
That's great.
Alexa,
Sort of like
see
the
who's at
hulking
the door.
beasts. You've kind of created these sort of like.
Thanks,
And they are a bit
Amazon.
more dynamic. They are like running,
At
advancing
least
in
it's
a
not
menacing ways.
Ghostbusters
So they are
again.
more aggressive and yeah.
And it's great that you talked about sort of like the user or painter experience in terms of keeping that stuff quite simple with its textures. But one thing
There's a
I really
rat
want to
ogre
know
at
is
the
how
door.
have
I
you married
really
that
hope
together in
not.
terms of the Skaven?
That would be
so many
quite a
clans
horrifying
sort of
experience.
coming together, working together, not working together, stabbing each other in the back. How would you marry that from like a paint perspective, perhaps?
Yeah, I think having an army that is so chaotic and broken up in a way where
It does
these
look
different clans are represented.
I think it does look a little less
it-
because
it
obviously you
makes
had the
it
20
unique and
hobgrots
it
and the
gives it a
10
different
gut
kind of
rippers in the
flavor
last
to a lot
one.
of the other factions.
Yes,
even
to
if you
answer your
disagree, it
question,
says something
that
about
is a
them on
Cypher Lord's
personal
headdress
level.
in the back there.
And then you can kind of use these cues like the warp stone that's
Which is a
speckled
strange
across all
thing
of the
to have.
models, or like just
But,
the
you know.
fur textures and the skin to help tie the army together, and then specific pieces of rags and cloths and like the right icons in the right places can tell that secondary like underlying story of like.
We
oh,
need
these
to
are
know
actually
about the
from this
terrain,
part,
Vicious
and these
Goose.
guys are from over here, and they're kind of
If it's
working together
plastic
right now.
terrain,
But they're not just one big happy
That would be
family.
very interesting.
It's just this beautiful anarchic horde of nastiness pouring towards you, and I think it's going to be so much fun to play on the battlefield, to tell stories with.
I think it looks
and just
fairly
to paint
balanced.
The guys who put so much thought into it. It's an absolute tour de force of a box set.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, about that, I remember now that there was some quality very, very unique on the original Skaven set. When you put them all together, they are different sizes because one is more crouched, the other one is more standing, and that created that feeling of horde that works like rats
like
normally do in
undulating.
real life.
Yeah.
They
I like it.
work. And we're trying to imply that in the new model. So every single clan rat is a different size, not because they are badly
Probably
made,
use
but
something like
because
Tesseract
we are
glow
trying
on
to,
those warp stones and the
recreate
cracks around
that
it.
effect Of
Absolutely.
they moving like a swarm of big human rats.
Yeah, it's that level of detail that makes them so sort of like kinetic and dynamic as well, which is really lovely. I
thought Max was
well, guys,
the
thank you
Miz
ever so
from
much for popping in
WWE.
to chat to us about all things Skaven. I'm super excited for them to scurry into
There's
the new
wrestlers
edition
everywhere
very,
in
very
Games
soon.
Workshop these days.
Don't go anywhere, guys. We've got lots more announcements coming right after this.
Lots more announcements.
A brand new edition means a brand new core book and much, much more for the Age of Sigmar. I'm joined by Phil, Matt and Ben from the Warhammer Studios to peruse through the pages that make up the Mortal Realms. So, we chatted a little bit about this
Phil's
before.
just
You guys have
there all
decided
day,
to
isn't he?
go with a little bit more of a mortal eye view
a great
of this brand new
cover.
core book for the new edition. Can you tell us a little bit about
That's
that?
beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got this very God's eye view in Age of Sigmar 1 and 2. Really great stuff, mythic foundation for Age of Sigmar, but lately with Dawnbringers and with the core book we have here in Skaven, we're seeing the boots on the ground, we're seeing people, actual people like soldiers,
Phil
tavern
lives there.
keeps,
Phil
the
lives in the
artillerists,
studio.
the wizards. What are they up to and how do they see the mortal realms? And that's fascinating, actually. That's given us loads of variety and texture to our stories.
I can't stop
Sort of like
smiling.
little tapas, aren't you? Sort
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
bits
exactly.
here, little bits here and there, opinions and that kind of thing. That's really, really lovely. So let's chat rules then. So this is a really big shift in the rules. It's sort of a kind of ground up rewrite of the
to
rules,
chat
as it were.
rules?
And talk to me about some of your kind of focus points with those kind
we?
of changes for the new
Yeah,
edition.
so with the rules this go around, we really had 3 main goals. The first was to make sure that the game was easy to learn, but still very difficult to master, right? Kind of the hallmark of a lot of good games.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have less systems to learn, but kind of more skill to master.
Okay.
The second big focus for us was on kind of building on that interactivity,
There are rules lawyers,
making
so that's
sure that
important for
both
them.
players
Yeah,
are
that's true.
active and engaged in every turn and phase of the game. And then the final goal was, really focusing on making every battle as exciting as it can be, and having these kind of
I do like it. It's not
closely fought
super. Oh my god,
battles.
I'm
There's
reacting
a
to
lot
something
of,
I've seen for months, like
interesting
last time.
counterplay,
I'm with
interesting
you there,
shifts within the
Starpilot.
game, and mechanics like the underdog mechanic that kind of help bring
I'm
those
getting
games
lots of
closer together
injections of very
and
awesome
result in those really exciting finishes
every
that we all
time.
remember for years to come.
Yeah, amazing. So we've also got the Fire and Jade book as well as the core book with this new edition.
But
What
it's
is
a
that? Tell us a bit
separate
about
book.
that.
There's just
The
two
Fire and Jade
books
book
in
is
there.
all the
That
rules you
alone
need
is
to play
really cool.
Spearhead for every faction.
So it's really fun just reading through that book. It's a beautiful
Every
book,
faction.
and kind of discovering and getting inspired by different factions, saying, "Oh, they sound pretty cool. Maybe I'd like to.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd like to play them."
You've got to watch out. Going through Fire and Jade, you will see something new that you're like, oh, that would be really, I like it. I like that. I'm trying to do all the destruction ones at the moment, so I'm just focusing.
You're just trying to do the destruction ones,
It's
Phil.
hard to just do one.
I've done
Yes,
8.
of course, yeah. So talk to me a little bit about some of your personal highlights in this new edition.
For me, it's the section we have on the Mortal Realms themselves.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, so how would we learn information? Well, we'd probably be there talking around over a meal or at the pub. So we've written from the perspective of Callus and Toll, talking
That's a
about
cool
how the realms
touch.
work. We've then got necromancers explaining how the realm of death works, and actually they secretly quite like Nagash, but don't tell the witch hunters. So you're getting the almost like you're hearing from the mortals
Well, it's all
themselves.
the
I like
bits of
that.
art and
I
the
like that.
artifacts and
This is it,
it kind of takes you on a journey through. It's almost like looking at a
I
travel
always
book or
try to
something,
read a
right?
core
Yeah,
book
really
cover
lived
to
experience.
cover.
Takes you throughout.
You
get
generally
these
find out some
ideas,
really cool, interesting
really
stuff.
immerses you in the realms.
Yeah, we're really happy with that. It's got
Lol
a
at
beautiful
Nagash
gatefold,
explaining anything. Yeah, I mean,
fold-out
if it's
map.
just
You can see the
Nagash
cosmos
explaining
if
the
you
realms of
really
death,
zoom
it'll
out
just
and
be
see
him
how the
yelling
metaphysics of
over and
Age of
over
Sigmar
again
works. So we
that
tried to
Nagash is
cover it
all and
from
all
the
I
top
want
to
in
the bottom.
Nagash.
That's lovely.
One of the really exciting things, you also have the GHB. So for the first time, we're including all of the contents of the GHB in card form. So really fun stuff.
really nice
and,
touch.
you can just jump right in and start playing.
Lovely. Well, guys, thank you ever so much for popping in to chat to us about the core book and lots of the stuff that the
So
new
General's
edition offers us
Handbook,
as well. I'm sure everyone cannot wait. to get
Spearhead
their hands on
rules
it
and
very,
the
very
core
soon.
book all in one box.
A whole host of fresh releases and some wonderful miniatures to gaze upon too. Don't forget, you can let us know which releases you're most excited for by hitting us up on any of our socials. And you can remind yourself of
that
everything
it?
you've seen after the show over on the Warhammer Community website too. But that's not all, because we've got lots more coming
No.
up right now, in fact. I caught up with the Warhammer Studio about Age of Sigmar's brand new way to play, and lots more.
Spearhead is a brand new way to play Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
For those
It's
of you asking about
fast-paced,
Spearhead.
well balanced and easy to get started, making it ideal for all players. Join us as we take a look at this exciting game mode.
Bring on Becca Scott. No?
As the mortal realms are engulfed in mayhem and violence, Spearhead forces are dispatched far and wide to seek out ancient sites of power and keep them from falling into enemy hands. Will you take up the call to battle and lead a Spearhead force to victory? In Spearhead games, players engage in small-scale tactical battles fought on a compact battlefield, meaning you can set
Maybe
up a
this is
game
all the
even
terrain.
with limited space. Games use specially tailored rules to ensure that every battle is an exciting affair that comes right down to the final few rolls of the dice. In Spearhead, players use a fixed
some
set
really
of
cool
units
buildings.
called a Spearhead army that has its own rules. Each of these has a corresponding boxed set that contains all the models you need. Whatever army style you like, you'll find a Spearhead to match. Choose
I've done
one
both
with
of
a
them.
small model count to
Done
get
both
going
of them.
quickly. Unleash an entire horde, or pick an army with a stunning centerpiece miniature. Spearhead battles are fought on realm
Haven't done any of
battlefields, and each side of the board
They haven't sent me
represents
this
a
box.
different realm. Gairan,
like them to send
the
it to me
realm of
now.
life, and Akshi, the realm of fire. Every Spearhead army has a set of regiment abilities and enhancements that you select before each battle. This means you can easily tweak your army every time you play, making each game different. Try out new things, or look for different ways to beat your opponents. Spearhead games are quick to get going and always closely fought.
It's a
But
cool
you'll
looking
still
board
need
as
to
well.
think tactically to outmaneuver your opponent, defeat their army, and come out on top. As the hour of ruin dawns,
Where's the new Death Guard?
muster your Spearhead. But will you fight to save the mortal realms, or to damn them to destruction?
You don't want the Death Guard in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. They wouldn't stand a chance. There's no toughness roll. So they can't roll
Age
to
of
wound.
Sigmar's
Can't wound
new
anything.
edition is on the horizon, and with it comes a new way to play. I'm joined by Jimbo, Matt, and Ben from the studio to talk
Oh,
all
Phil's
things
not here.
Spearhead. Guys, welcome to the
You've
show.
been let off for
Thanks
this
for having
one.
us.
Hey, no worries, absolute pleasure to have you. So let's dive straight in. What can new and existing players expect to experience with this new way to play Age of Sigmar?
So they can expect a small format game, play it on a coffee table. You can play it in an hour, so it's super quick to play once you've learned the
Adam.
rules. And there's
Now,
so
now.
much
It's not that
replayability
kind
in
of
it as well,
stream.
with the board being double-sided, and the twist decks and things like that.
Spearhead really leverages the new modular structure of the rules. So Spearhead only uses the core
I
rules.
love this.
So it doesn't use any of the advanced rules modules.
I don't know if you can tell,
and
but
that
I'm
means
really
that
excited for
it's really,
Spearhead.
really easy to learn. You just have to
And I
read,
get to
a few
find out
basic
how it
core rules,
plays
covering
on
the basics
Saturday
of moving and fighting using
at the Mortal
abilities.
Realms
and
Reforged
then,
event.
you read the Spearhead battle pack, and you're right
It's
into
interesting
playing.
there that we
and
only
the cool thing
seen,
is that when you get into playing,
5
you
Liberators.
actually kind of learn and discover a lot of the
And we're not
advanced
seeing
rules. So you get kind of an
Reclusians.
introduction
We're not
to a
seeing
lot
them?
of those advanced rules modules. That it's a really smooth transition going into the larger scale game.
To really help with that, we've got War Scrolls specifically for Spearhead, and within that we keep the stat
If you
line
are
and
enjoying the
weapon
stream, by
profiles
the way,
same
guys, if you
between
could leave a
that and
lovely
when you play
like,
larger
that would be
ages.
incredible.
So there's a real nice correlation of step-by-step way of playing. So players will get to
200
know
people
these things
watching, that's
really easily.
amazing.
And then to keep
And
Spearhead a
91
little bit
likes.
more
It's a free way to
smaller and
support
easier
the channel.
to read, some of the abilities have been tuned just for Spearhead.
I like that
I
they've
imagine
got
with like some new ways
pillars.
to play,
They
create
don't
some
have
really
flight
like
stands. That's
exciting
good.
new challenges for the studio. So talk to us a little bit about some of the mechanics that you've utilised to create some real close combat on the battlefield.
So first of all, we've managed to create a system which we call the twist system. So at the start of each battle round, players will draw a card from the twist deck, and that have a really cool effect that will apply to the battlefield just for that battle round. And this combines with another mechanic we use called the underdog. The underdog
When
is the
the
player
AOS
that has
team
the
realises
fewest
the 40k
victory
flight
points in
stand
that
is a
battle
bad
round.
idea.
So that can change during the battle,
Yeah.
depending on who's winning and who's not at that
Done
point. And with the twist,
just gonna
the
point it out every
underdog
time.
will typically get an enhanced effect that both players have, or they'll be able to actually apply the effects of the twist. They can choose where it goes, so they can tactically decide how to make
Here's
it
my
a bit better for them,
Carnosaur.
get them back into the game, maybe put them ahead of their opponent, but then next turn their opponent will be the underdog, and they get to do the same thing back to them.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, and the cool thing is the twists are themed to each side of the board. So it's a double-sided board that you get in the set. One side is themed around Gairan, the other around Akshi.
I love the Akshi
and
one, I
each
love
side
that.
of the board has a correlating twist deck.
I think that
so
looks
all
great.
of the twists are also kind of narratively very themed to the board.
Also,
where
it looked
maybe
like
you'll
it
have
folded
more
into a triangle.
healing or ensnaring vines
Which is
in
interesting.
Gairan. Where in Akshi, objectives might, literally explode into fire and burn everyone on them. So it's really fun.
Also,
fun
those
things, but
objectives
really,
are,
really helps pull those games
printed
closer
on
together
the-
and
on the
ensure
map,
those
which
kind
is
of,
interesting.
fun and exciting finishes. And actually, the twist decks are just 2 of the decks of cards that you get. The other two are each player
decks of
will
cards
have a
in
deck
this
of tactics
as well.
cards. So these tactics decks introduce two concepts that will be familiar to veteran players of Age of Sigmar, which is battle tactics and command abilities. But it does so in a really, really easy to use system. So you're going to have, each player is going to have 3 cards at a time.
You're not wrong.
And at the top half of each card, there's a tactic you can score. Each one is worth 1 point in your turn. You can score all 3 in your turn. So you have these kind of 3 secondary objectives. You're going to be trying to look at the battlefield,
Good point, Lord,
figuring
really.
out how you could score. And at the bottom half of each
I
card,
hope there's a deck there called the
there's a
Trap
really
deck.
powerful command you can use to get that interactivity and counterplay in your opponent's turn. The trick is that if you play that card to use the command, you can't score the tactic on top. So there's a really fun trade-off with each player of, do I want to use the command? Do I want to use the tactic? And maybe if there's a tactic that's difficult to achieve, the command will then be really useful.
I like it.
And so
I like it.
a really fun play. And because those change each time you play the game with the ones that you'll have at any given time, it makes each game feel really unique and really special.
Very nice. Well, guys, thank you ever so much for popping in and chatting to us about Spearhead. I, for one, cannot wait to play it again. I've only played one game, but yeah, 100%.
Don't say I can't wait to play this.
Don't
You've
go
already
anywhere,
played
as
it.
we'll be back with some Warhammer Age of Sigmar content right after this.
Lots more to come. Don't forget, there's lots more to come. Skaven Tide. 74 plastic miniatures in the box. 24. Oh, I suppose. Such a good time to be an Age of Sigmar fan. More plastic terrain pieces.
As we all know by now, Age of Sigmar's new edition is on the way, and what a series of reveals and announcements we've
Still
had
more
as
to
part
come.
of this preview show. Now, I'm back with Jimbo, Matt, and Ben from the studio. Before we wrap up,
I'm
to
ready,
give you a
guys.
little overview of what we've
I know
seen.
it's a Lord
so,
of the Rings
guys,
sword,
what is part of the
but we're
Skaven Tide
ready.
box set?
So this box is absolutely
We are
jammed.
ready.
So first but not least, you get the brand new core book. So 274-page book full of background, bestiary, showcase, all the rules, path to glory, and for the first time ever, you also get the General's Handbook included in the launch set in a card
Give
format.
me
so
Age
your
of
battle
Sigmar or
tactics, your
give
battle
me
plans,
death.
your season rules, everything you need to play the GHB.
And then, of course, in addition to those books, you get an absolute ton of miniatures. So you're going to get nearly 75 different Citadel miniatures in the box. 2 different armies, the Skaven and the Stormcast Eternals. So on the Skaven side, you've got 40 clan rats.
40?
You've got a beautiful new Grey Seer sculpt. It's probably one of my favorite models in the box. Warplock Engineer leading 3 Jezzails.
That's 44.
Long-range sniper support. You've got 3 brand new Rat Ogres. You've got
47.
a rattling Warp Blaster, just kind of
48.
this crazy Scryer war machine.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you've got a Claw Lord riding this crazy Gnaw Beast, who's kind of the centerpiece general of the Skaven set.
49.
And then on the Stormcast Eternals side, you've got your Lord Vigilant riding a Griffstalker leading the force, supporting 10 Liberators, 3 Prosecutors, 3 of the Reclusians, who are accompanied by these 2 Memorians to kind of remind them of their humanity. You've got a Lord Terminos, also accompanied by a Memorian. You've got a Lord Veritant with a
adore that
Griff
model.
Crow, and then you've got your Knight Quester completing that set. So lots of
He's sick.
spectacular heroes, lots of spectacular models.
No Lord
2
Celestin.
really, really exciting forces.
Yeah,
Sad, Josh.
And how about some Spearhead stuff as well?
I say we're not finished. There's
Yeah,
more.
there's
There's
more,
more.
yeah.
So yeah, you get everything you need to play Spearhead. You get the Fire and Jade book. You get a double-sided board. So one side is Gyrand, one side is Akshi.
It does.
4 pieces of terrain specifically for Spearhead, which is amazing. And then you get the decks of cards you need. So 1 deck for each player, which has the battle tactics and the commands on them. And then you get the twist deck for Akshi.
There's 3
and one
decks
for
of
Gyrand
cards.
as well. So pretty awesome all round.
Pretty awesome all round. Well, guys, thank you ever so much for doing that for me, because I don't think I would have been able to do all of that on my own. What an amazing offering as well. And thank you for being with us. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we have. Before we wrap up, let's check out that fabulous cinematic. And don't forget, if you want to check out any of the reveals that you've seen, head to the Warhammer Community website on warhammercommunity.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time on the Warhammer Preview Show.
But we're not done yet. Raining those rats, Lewis. You're going to get your first chance to see Spearhead live here at Dallas. Got my event badge ready to go. I'm Paul. Got Adam here.
Okay.
How you doing, everybody? We're going to have some very special guests playing the first ever live televised Spearhead fight between Stormcast and Skaven.
Oh my lord, I cannot wait. We've got two fantastic athletes to show you the ins and outs of Spearhead for a brand new edition of Age of
Half an hour.
I hope you'll enjoy the preview. Hang out. You're going to see it again if you missed any part of that. And then come back in about 20, 25 minutes. We're going to see the first ever battle. We'll see y'all soon.
Miss it. Do not want to miss it.
That was weird.
At least there was some not pre-recorded bit. Okay. No, let me. Okay. All right. Guys. AEW superstars. Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's cool. I think it's cool for the sake of it, but like, it's a slightly weird choice to preview it. But I mean, it shows that. I think the most important thing about I think it's a bit silly, the AEW wrestling match between two spearheads, but I think the thing that's impressive about it is it shows how much commitment there is to Age of Sigmar, and I did not feel that from them last time from Dominion. And I've talked about this before, but as you recall, way back when they first previewed that AOS 3 was on the way, they had a slide deck where Stormcast Eternals was spelt wrong. That's how much it felt like they didn't really care. It was Sotrumcast. This time, it feels like they actually really care about it, and that is a very, very exciting, very, very cool thing. And that is the thing that's most important to me as somebody who loves Age of Sigmar. I adore Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar is my favorite thing in Warhammer that they do. All of it is absolutely fantastic. It's the best thing in the world. So let's just very quickly head over to Facecam just for a sec. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, do you want me to stream the first battle? Do you want me to keep streaming whilst we do this first battle? I'll do it, if that's what you guys want. We can sit and we can commentate on it. We can be like, oh my god, he's busted him in half! I'll do it for 100 gifted members. I'm joking. But seriously. What we will do is let me just one's in the chat to keep going. Okay. What we'll do is, instead of watching that for the minute, we will pop over to the articles that will undoubtedly have been uploaded, and we'll have a look at the pictures, shall we? Because that'll be lovely. So we'll go back to here. Right. So for those of you who are as excited as I am, let's have a good long look, shall we? Let's pore over these pictures, because obviously they won't have shown us everything properly in the videos, so we now need to have a good long look. The Lord Vigilant on Gryffstalker. This is him. He looks amazing. Look at that. That's unbelievable. Look at this axe. This axe is gorgeous. This axe is sexy. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. I like it a lot. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's lovely. It's beautiful. Also, if we look around here, you see this like color here on the armpit of the bird, and we've got the things in here. That's great, because Targor Raidshade is your friend there, right there. That's what that color is, right there. Targor Raidshade. Lokir has gifted 5 memberships. You're an absolute legend, Lokir. We can pop these back on now, can't we? We can do that. Thank you very much. You are the best. So another 95 to go and I'll keep streaming. This is beautiful. But remember as well that this is probably push fit. So there we go. That's number 1. Here we have... Oh, we got the rest of it. We got the back. And we've got a little kind of zoom in. Yeah, look at that. It's just Targor Raid Shade. It is just Targor Raid Shades. It's lovely. That's great. I love it. Or Dreadful Visage. It's also quite a stark transition they've gone for there. It's not like blended, which I'm guessing is from like if this is your first box of Warhammer, this would be like kind of like doing like lots and lots of difficult blending on it would be a bit of a turn off, I think. So from this perspective, I mean, I'll probably blend it right, but like that's an interesting color choice. Which is interesting. Which is cool. Yeah. Look at that shield as well. I don't think we got to see that. That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous, that shield right there. Oh, the Lord Vigilant. It's great. Love to see it. Next up, we have the Lord Veritant. Here he is. We can probably zoom this one in. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, it's a she. Terribly sorry. That's beautiful. And there's the Griffhound that we saw. Can you link this? I can, yes. Let me do that. And I will pop this. Would you be able to do a video for a star chart on a Stormcast Eternal cloak? We can certainly try. Griff Crow, not Hound. Depends on if it's appropriate. I mean, I occasionally think it. I think it looks good. Sometimes I don't think it does. I think it looks over-engineered a little bit. But I'll see how I feel. I do have a Lord Arcanum I could do that on, actually, just specifically that. That would make sense. So you see how this is quite a heavier, darker silver here? That's what I mean. Iron Warriors all the way, baby. Exactly what we're going for. Which is cool. And then we've got... Oh, I mean, look at that shield. That shield's very pretty. It's very pretty. Oh, God. Very, very pretty. That's beautiful. It's an interesting shade of blue as well they've gone for. It's slightly different to what you normally see on the Hallowed Knights. It's a little bit paler. You sometimes have it kind of closer to what the Hammers of Sigmar look like. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely unbelievable. That shoulder pad is cool. That shoulder pad is cool. It's very, very cool. Travis Woodside invented blue. Everyone thank Travis for his... Now this thing right here, this is the model that has ended me. I adore this model beyond all reason. Even within the somber ruination chambers, the Lord Terminos is a figure apart. Armed with a massive blade, Terminos, they range the battlefield to execute the enemies of Sigmar with swift, sure strikes. These lonesome individuals are also responsible for the rights of the last threshold, taking the heads of soul-stricken Stormcast Eternals who voluntarily enter oblivion. They are accompanied by Memorian squires who recount their battle honours and keep them tethered to the present. Oh man, that's dark. It's also very exciting. I mean, just look at it. That, like, this right here. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous model. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just... Oh. Oh. We have the Night Quester as well. Here we go. So Stormcast are now Blood Angels. There's elements of that, I guess. So you see this Night Quester here. You got still got the elements of blue in the silver, just around there and around there, and just in here as well. So this isn't like a execution. What are they called? What's it called? ruination chamber type thing. So you see how it kind of there is tying it back to kind of more traditional, kind of less rugged, less beaten up Stormcast. It's very pretty. I like this. Is there a helmet option in here? No, I can't see one. There's a more traditional shield as well there as well, which is cool. I do like it. Again, I'm surprised it's in there. I'm surprised that it's a Night Quester of all things, but it's a very nice Night Quester. It is an upgrade on the old ones. Good night, Adam. I will see you very, very soon. Reclusians we've seen before. We've seen all of these before. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're beautiful. I love them. I think they're beautiful. It's lovely. The prosecutors, of course, we've also seen these. 1, 2, and 3. And the liberators, we should now be able to see all of them, I think, because they've only shared 5 before. So there's our double hammer wielding versions. The swords look to be completely gone. Grand hammer, double hammer, hammer and shield, grand hammer, hammer and shield. These have clearly got helmeted and non-helmeted options. This is sick. Love this model. Love this one as well. That head right there, that's beautiful. That is a lovely, lovely head. That's a Liberator Prime right there. Gorgeous. And there we go. More. You love to see it, don't you? That's a really lovely head as well. I love that scar. Just going in there. Gorgeous. Another lovely head. Just there. Oh, what a lovely head. Oh, lovely head. Warhipster 2024. Exactly. That's another lovely head. Look at that beard. That's me. I just need to put long hair on it or shave my head, whichever is more appropriate. Yeah, beautiful. Win a copy of the Skaven type. Okay, guys. To celebrate the new edition, 10 lucky people will win the Warhammer Age of Sigmar Skaven Tide box. To enter, it's as simple as signing up to the Warhammer newsletter before the 30th of May 2024. Already signed up? You're already entered. Terms and conditions apply. So if you haven't already, sign up. You could win a Skaven Tide box set. I love this box. No, I'm already signed up. Don't make me do it again. Okay, so now we need this one. Drown the Mortal Realms. Here we go. So, Clawlord on Norbeast. Oh, it's very pretty. That's very Elden Ring. It's very Elden Ring. The mount alone, very, very Elden Ring. Look at his little gun. Yeah. I love that. Look at that spearhead. Spearhead. Get it? I love that. That's going to be fun to try and figure out how to paint. Combination of some bright greens and some Pterodon turquoise by the looks of things. Yeah, that's lovely. I like the warpstone as well, cracking the skin right there. That's really cool. That's really pretty. Travis says, does anyone want to split the cost of this box? I only want Skaven. Hit me up on Discord. Yes, if you're a member of the Discord, which you can be a member of the Discord by becoming a member of the channel or a Patreon subscriber, hit Travis up if you want to share, if you only want the Stormcast. Do you think the Stormcast and this box go together well with the Stormcast from Dominion for starting an army? Absolutely, Nikolaj. Or Nikolai? How do I say your name? Sorry if I got it completely wrong. Yeah, absolutely it will, because it'll give you 2 good battle line units in the form of your Vindictors and your Liberators. You get a bunch of characters, but you also have your Annihilators, your Praetors, the Reclusians, and this, that, and the other. It'll give you a nice wide spread. You would actually probably end up with lots and lots of characters, based on what we've seen. So 3 or 4. What was it in the? I've already forgotten. Can you send this link too? I certainly can. Here you go. Looks more like a Naginata. Actually, that is a good point. It does, doesn't it? That's lovely. And there we have Some more close-ups for it. Can we zoom in on this one? No. We can see there on the blade. Got lots of different colours going on in there. Claron turquoise and striking scorpion green. There's a little bit purple in there as well. That's Luxion purple by the looks of things. That red's a lovely red. I have to figure out how to do that. The grey sear is here. I love it. It's still got quite a classic look to it. It's quite 2D in some ways. It looks like it's got elements of fantasy in there, right? The base is beautiful, just down there. I love the small rats out of the sort of glowing green of the bell. That absolutely looks fan-bloody-tastic. That truly is a gorgeous model. Right there. That's a lovely model. Weirdly, though, I don't know if we're going to have to prime I don't know if we are going to prime the... I mean, we probably should, right? It feels weird to not prime the Skaven in grey sear. Probably should. It does look quite cold, to be fair. We could get away with it, I think. Yeah, it's lovely. It is really lovely. Random unrelated question. I'm thinking of painting my blooded sharpshooter's camo cloak as flayed skin with runes painted in blood on it. Too grimdark? No, there's no such thing as too grimdark in the worlds of the 41st millennium, or indeed Age of Sigmar. Never been a massive fan of sculpted bases. I kind of agree with you, Gary. At times I don't like them, and at times I love them. I kind of chop and change between the two. I'm like, oh, it's awesome. Oh, it's annoying. Here's the rat ogres. The thing is, I like a sculpted base where it doesn't specifically place it too much. So like when it's just like on tactical rocks or whatever, that's absolutely fine. If it places it too much in a specific realm or a specific area of the world, sometimes that can be a little bit frustrating. Here we have the Grey Seer primed, of course, in Wraithbone. That would be funny. Oh, exactly. And it has, of course, been primed in Wraithbone, as have the rest of our Skaven. Look at that. Here we have another one. Look at that. I love this. I love this as a thing. Is there a best color temp to look for? So my lamps that we're under right now, I am at 5200K. You can go colder than that if you want, but what you want to look for is something that sits in the region of probably 5,000 to 5,500, somewhere around that. If you can get a light that can go up to that, that's daylight, right? If you go over that, if you start to kind of move towards like 5,600, you start to take on sort of slightly more blue, which blue light isn't good for you if you paint late. And if you're under that, as you can see, it starts to go really yellow. So this is 3,200. So yeah, I recommend something where you can get to like I paint at 52, but 5,300 or 5,400K, absolutely perfectly fine. And we've got another rat ogre. That one's great. I love this. Doesn't look very happy, does it? But there's elements of Clan Pestilence there, which I like. I like that as an option. I love the Skullmar shields. Is that the ones on the Hallowed Knights? Yeah, I just like these. I like these a lot. They look big as well. They're not like too big. Here it is, the Rattling Warp Blaster. That's sick. I like this a lot for different reasons, right? So I like the way they've painted it in the fact that like you've not got like a blend going on here in the tank, and you also don't have it going on in here. It's just all one color, which is really nice. Again, from a perspective of painting it, that's really good, because it's like it's not going to be hideous to try and do to get it nice and get it kind of box art accurate. which is nice. I mean, I love the way they've painted this. I think it looks great. The wood looks fantastic. There's like elements of green here and here as well. And the verdigris. Love the looks from the ogres, but probably would do the warpstone implants much more bright. What, these rocky bits? Yeah, yeah. I've discovered that striking scorpion green is an excellent paint for bright green. Yeah, figures right. All that firepower with the wood base. Yeah, well, exactly. It's Skaven, right? That's how they roll. We've got some more angles of it there. So there's 4 crew, and then the actual person who shoots the gun, the operator. That's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Again, it looks like, I mean, again, this is a slightly more difficult thing. I wonder if it's going to be a decal sheet that's in here. But we do have like runes and stuff painted on the back. So again, they're almost like they are sub-faction agnostic, which is cool. I like that a lot. That's really cool. Warlock Engineer we've seen. Clan Rats. Well, we've seen the Warplock Jezzails as well, because they've been previewed before. But let's see how many Clan Rats we can spot now. So 1, 2, and 3. This is, none of that's going to be sculpted, so that's interesting. That's going to be a fun one for the paint job. We have 3 here, so that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Lots of different cool things. I imagine these aren't going to be massively varied in terms of their like weapon loadouts or whatever, because there's 40 of them, so I imagine it's a sprue that does 20 on each. That's cool. That's very, very cool. I hope, I've just seen that Gary say, have to admit the Gotrek base is stunning though. I hope that there is a way you can play Spearhead where you can play Gotrek versus Skaven. Just Gotrek on his own. That would be sick. These are really pretty. There's lots going on here. And I think initially, when I first saw them, I was like, if they might be a little too detailed, but I think we're just about okay. I'm gonna have to come up with lots and lots and lots of little rat flesh recipes, aren't I? Because they've gone for some really cool ones. But again, Grey Seer looks like the right choice. You see here, you look at this tunic. So that, to me, I'm looking at that, I'm going, yep, Skeleton Horde, easy. But like, if that was over Wraithbone, that would be really warm. That'd be almost yellow. That's way closer to brown. Probably even get away with just using like Agrax Earthshade if you want it to be really brown. There's lots to love there. They're great. I love them. And it's like, this is a glow up. It's 100% a glow up. This one is taking all of its best notes from the Tyranids, right there. There's definitely a Hormigaunt or Termagant that looks exactly like that. Yeah, I love this. You see if there's any more articles. Let's have a look. Skaventide is the jam pack. Oh, there's lots. What else is in Skaventide? Inside the new core book and the match play cards. Right, so here's the core book. Look at that. Look at that artwork. That's great. Love to see it. Taking the stage for the Hour of Ruin. A fresh conflict ushered in by the cataclysmic vermin doom. Then we find out more on the nature of the mortal realms with a gorgeous gatefold section that captures the cosmos Arachne. Is that meant to be arcane? Yeah, oh, there you go. Look, there's our spelling mistake. Cosmos Arcane, because it says it right there. Cosmos Arcane. So the Cosmos Arachne. Remember, proofread your articles, guys. Proofread your articles. There's lots and lots of cool stuff here. And then we get it wouldn't be the core book without rules, so you'll find the core rules along with all the advanced rules modules, followed by the First Blood Match Play Battle Pack and the Path to Glory Ascension Battle Pack, so you can start playing right away in whichever way you prefer. Shortly after the release of Skaventide, you'll have the chance to pick up a copy of the core book with slightly different art, as well as a gorgeous collector's edition. More news on those later. If only there was a tool to highlight spelling errors. I know. And that's where we tell you that this stream is sponsored, but no, it's not. General's Handbook cards. People wanting to get stuck into the competitive end of matched play. Skaven Tide contains a deck of 17 General's Handbook cards. These include the rules for the 2024-25 season, 2 battle tactics cards covering all 6 universal battle tactics, and the 8 Grand Alliance battle tactics, plus all 12 double-sided battle plan cards, which cover battle plan rules, deployment, and suggest terrain layouts. How many times can you say battle plan? Spearhead, Fire and Jade. There we go. There's the book. I like it. I kind of wish it had artwork. Not gonna lie. Win a copy of the Skaven Tide box, in case you didn't already know. And if you just joined us, you can win a copy of the Skaven Tide box. Not from me, but you can win a copy of it. I might buy one and give one away anyway. I really want everyone to love Age of Sigmar as much as I do. And if that means I have to buy a box and give one away, I'll do it. Skaven Tide is the jam-packed launch box for the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. There's all the models. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. How close can we get? There we go. We can get that close. So, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 25, 20, good lord, 45, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. Look at it. It's unbelievable. I think it's probably about the same amount of miniatures as the last time. There you go. There is everything that you get in the box. This is an insane box. 24 Stormcast Eternals miniatures, 50 Skaven miniatures, 4 terrain features, 2 range rulers. Are there dice? Are there dice? Warhammer Age of Sigmar core book, Spearhead, Fire and Jade book, double-sided game board, Spearhead card deck, General's Handbook cards. Doesn't look like there are any dice. There better be dice, I swear. Can't give me range rulers and not give me dice. Give me dice. I want dice. Give me the dice. There we go. And then, yeah, just another recap of all of the lovely, lovely, gorgeous miniatures. If you can see. There you go. There's your 40 clan rats all together. What else is in the box? All of this stuff. There's no dice. Terrible box. Not going to buy it. Who cares? Oh, we got a new model. Not model. A new novel as well. Good. I always like the launch novels for Age of Sigmar. And then, guys, if you're not sure, win a copy of the Skaven Tide box set. Yeah, I mean, that is a truly ridiculous amount of stuff in one box. Look at it. Behold. Unbelievable. Good night, Nick. Unbelievable. Wow. Should we see what's going on Twitch? That doesn't look like they've started. This box can be yours for £300. Well, we don't know what the price of it is yet. We'll find out. On another exciting edition of What's the Price? What's the cost? So, guys, thoughts? Thoughts on the box? Got to call it a night. Good night, Email Langmar. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this one. This stream is sponsored by the color blue. This stream is sponsored by Black Legion. Not the Black Legion, just the color, the paint. Black Legion. Thanks, Matthew. Worried? Hyped but worried about the price. I see. Feels like it's the best launch box they've ever done. I agree, James. It's 100% the best launch box they've ever done. Just from a, like... It's not keying you into playing one specific way at all. As a core box, when it's giving you the General's Handbook for your competitive play, the core book for the actual how to play, and the Spearhead rules, not just for the 2 factions that are in the box, but for every faction as well. That for me is like, this box is just unbelievable. Like in terms of the stuff that's in there. Now, if this, and again, you guys are saying that you're worried about the price. I absolutely agree. If the price of this thing is like 180 quid or 300, I don't know how much. Somebody in the chat tell me if in the US, how much was what was it called? Leviathan. If it was something like that, like a box like that, like what was the price of Leviathan, if anyone remembers? Price can be inferred from the competition details. You are completely correct there, Captain Manrings. Let's go and have a look. Terms and conditions of the thing. The value of the contents of each prize is Great British pounds, £160. One moment, caller. This is how we figure these things out. Thank you for reminding me of this, Captain Manners, because you can do that. Matthew Krengle has become a member. That is very, very generous of you. Thank you very much. Puts us on 536. If we go back over to the overhead, so these are the terms and conditions of the May 2024 prize draw. So here you can see the value of the contents of each prize is £160. Australian dollars 450, Australian dollars, US dollars 265 US dollars, 210 euros. That's confusing. Why is it AUD 450 Australian dollars / USD 265 US dollars? That doesn't make any sense to me. Does anyone understand that? But there you go. That looks like that's what the price is going to be. So there you go. Is what we can infer. But of course, if you have a friendly local gaming store, you can get it for between 10 and 20% off. 15%. Leviathan was £150 for reference. Okay, so for an extra £10 to get as much as you're getting there, like how many, if I just go Leviathan box set, what's in the box? What's in the box? What did you get in here? 72 miniatures, a transfer sheet, the Leviathan mission deck, and the Leviathan rulebook. And that was £150. So, yeah. That's quite a lot. That is quite a jump. The fighting has started. Oh, yeah, look, here we go. This is bizarre. There's no one there. Okay, I'm just gonna mute whilst they're playing that music because I don't know if it's copyrighted. I want that hammer. I want a copy of. I want a Galmaraz.
What a display. Look at that, representing the Stormcast Eternals here. Skaven versus the
So how are we filming this? Are we just filming this like this? Is someone going to get put through a table?
Indeed, absolutely. The forces of the Skaven tide rising up to.
I love that they've even got a referee with the black and white shirt. The wrestling thing wasn't a joke. No, James, it's not a joke. We have 2 AEW wrestlers right now.
Yeah, you get to see some of that first thing from the preview here. We're going to see some of those models in action.
Oh, there we go. Claudio Castagnoli and Kip Sabian. What was Claudio's name in the WWE? What was he called? I have to look it up. What was he called? Cesaro. That's it.
That follows the same progression as it did before, with a couple of twists. And speaking of twist, when you're dealing with Spearhead specifically, there's a twist.
So yeah, I mean, it's really bad color grading on that. Why is it so blue? Again, so this is the problem. If you go for too blue a light, it didn't color balance or check the camera. Is that exactly? It's really it looks really horrible. Will Rat Swarm TM sell out /FOMO, or will there be boxes around like Dominion? Ian, I would guess that there will be boxes around, and this is the sad thing with Age of Sigmar is they produce as many as they do for 40k, right? And I think they actually produced even more. This might this here might be the measuring thing. You see the black stick just there. The 1812 Overture. Thank you, Jasmine. I was trying to remember what it was called, and it was stuck on the tip of my tongue. And Vicious Goose, thank you for being a member for 11 months. They are about to play on YouTube. Thank you very much for your 11 months of support. You're incredible. So yeah, to go back to kind of what we were talking about in terms of like this box, if it is £160 and we're going to knock off 15% because most people buy it through their friendly local gaming stores, £160 for the average discount of a 15% is £136. And what you're getting in the box is you're getting significantly more ways to play, you're getting significantly more books, significantly more cards, and about the same amount of miniatures as well. And so, like, that to me alone is massively value add, which is really exciting. I think it looks like a great box to me. Where are they filming this? In the event hall somewhere? Yeah. It's at the Dallas Open, isn't it? This is where this is happening. This feels cringe. Well, I mean, isn't the measuring stick is pictured with the that shows all the contents? Was it? Where was it?
But you do get to customize yourself. You get to actually pick a couple of different things at the start when you make your force to see how you bring it onto the table.
Indeed. Look, you know the plan rat's going down the top right of screen.
It has rats on.
And the Skaven forces.
Rats on, rats off.
So if you were coming to
I can't see it. Am I being dumb? Measuring stick is pictured with the terrain in the one article that shows all the contents. Oh, with the terrain.
It's not just a swag bag. It's a swag
Where
bag.
are you, terrain?
Yeah, but wound counters, measurement sticks, a die. So
I'm just gonna circle.
Is it this thing here?
If I can find out where my widget was going.
We got it.
So check this out. Oh, never mind. Not hooked up. Those
Oh yeah.
measuring devices are magnetic. You get 18 inches of distance, and they magnet onto the ends of each other. Ow! And it's such a. As soon as I
So it does. There you go. There's the measuring sticks. Why is Jake Paul there? Jake Paul's there? That would be a turn up. Guess what? People like Jake Paul are getting in on it.
This is Thursday. We want to thank everyone who is here in the crowd, by the way. You guys are amazing, and we are very grateful that you've joined us for this one.
It does come with terrain. Yeah, it comes with some plastic terrain as well. It's not cardboard terrain, which is what I thought it was going to be.
Two lovely athletes that are battling for your viewing pleasure.
The hype for this battle is real. Now, we mentioned two opposites of the sides here.
This is a horrible.
Maybe kind of easy to wound, or not known for their
This is a horrible looking stream. I'm not gonna lie. Why is it so blue? Oh god. Now we're gonna get a bunch of Prime jokes. Well done, Lord Billy. Does the loser get thrown through the table at the end? I hope so. That would be fun. We can't skip to then though, which is a shame. Honestly, I was hoping this would be better produced. This just doesn't look good. Like, I mean, the game looks good. The box looks good. This does not look good. Who do you think wins?
I think once you get proficient at this game, I've had about 6 or 7 games of Spearhead under my belt, and I think an hour or under is actually for two competent players who are well versed.
So it's honestly difficult to tell. Usually in these situations, you kind of I always back like the Stormcast or the Space Marines. Like in Leviathan, if you play the Leviathan box, if you just kill the Screamer killer with the Ballistus Dreadnought, it always goes to the Space Marines because they just can't do anything. Otherwise, because the Infernus Marines just burn everything else to death. And the Ballistus Dreadnought takes out, things like the Psychophage and stuff like that. That's not so much an issue in Age of Sigmar because you don't have, Godhammer las cannons. Rory McPhee, thank you very much for becoming a member. You're an absolute legend. That puts us on 537 of the finest Warhipster memberships. 63 to go, guys. And then I'll keep streaming this. This is a much better camera angle. This has been coloured properly. It's been colour graded. It's not blue. And I'm not dissing the colour blue, but you don't want things to look too blue, Travis. Because if it looks too blue, it looks horrible. They look very pretty, don't they, the Stormcast? I wonder who painted those. Those won't be the heavy metal ones. They wouldn't let them play with those.
These twists occur outside of the battle tactics that you draw. You've got the twist there to give a little bit something else.
The terrain pieces look nice. They do. They look very nice. They look very lived in as well, which is really cool. One thing I don't want to see happen too much though in AOS terrain is that everything becomes ruins, because I prefer that AOS has more kind of interesting characterful terrain than like lots of L-shaped buildings, because that kind of defeats one of the most pretty things about Warhammer Age of Sigmar, in that you do get some absolutely gorgeous terrain. So things like the Idol of the Old Ones, for example, whereas in 40k everything is L-shaped ruins. Make it stop. Go back to washing the brush. I didn't sign up for this. Sorry, Travis. I will not stop. But thank you very much for the $5. That's very kind of you. Now you have L-shaped bunkers too. Good point. Big sets of scenery like a city. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Garuda. I think with the problem with Games Workshop always faces with their terrain kits is that their terrain kits can reach into the being too expensive for something that is not like most people's priority. Terrain is the third person it's the third team on the board. It is really important, but when you can get, like, particularly for 40k, right? If you can get, like, MDF for super cheap, at that point it's like, well, I'll just use the MDF, because all we're going to use for our competitive games of Warhammer 40,000 is L-shaped buildings, so it doesn't really matter. For AOS, that's not really been the case. Now, what I would like to see for AOS is a lot more kind of... I'd like to see them bring out a form of fortification. Not the Chaos Citadel. I don't want to see that come back. But I'd like to see them bring out a big fortification set that is, like, truly awe-inspiring to look at. What I would also like to see from Age of Sigmar is not boarding actions, right? Because that's all the kind of interior walls. But, like, what's it called? Zone Mortalis terrain. So there's Zone Mortalis, which is a really cool way to play 40k, well, Horus Heresy. And I like the idea of boarding actions as well, playing with the internal walls. What I would like to see is an Age of Sigmar equivalent of that, like the inside of a giant Sigmarite temple or a catacomb or something like that. So, like, it's still walls, right? But it's all, like, you know, a big, like, sweeping mausoleum. If anybody has ever played... Has anyone played... not played. Has anyone listened to the Soul Wars novel? Have you listened to Soul Wars? Or read Soul Wars? Sewer actions. We could call it sewer actions. So, you know, if you've listened to Soul Wars, a lot of that takes place in the catacombs underneath the city. Because Nagash is trying to raise a massive army of souls from under the city, whose name I can't remember. I don't think it's Lethis, but it is something like that. Anyway, I would love to see an Age of Sigmar set of terrain that's kind of like that, to play it in that way. The 10,000 tombs, yeah. The suit is a bit much. Soul Wars with the Sacrosanct? Never heard of those guys. I know, Lord Billy. It is sad. The poor Sacrosanct. We just have to believe that they'll be back in 3 years' time. Shouldn't that guy be making Crank 3 or the Beekeeper 2? No, he should be spinning people around in the ring. How dare you, Josh? Too soon. Look. I'm not sad that it's over. I'm choosing to be happy that it happened. Okay. Yes. I was as taken aback as a number of you. But Sacrosanct stuff is still going to be valid for at least another year. And it's not going anywhere for like match play. Firstly, it's still going to be valid until 2025. So if you buy this box, you'll still be able to, you know, play with the General's Handbook with those models and take them to tournaments. It's all still supported until 2025. Like I said, I was surprised with Sacrosanct that it was them that went. I was expecting the Warrior Chamber, and the entire Warrior Chamber is going to get upgraded, right? It's going to get updated. We've seen that with the Liberators and the Prosecutors. I would imagine that Judicators are going to come out, and they're going to be a brand new kit, because those are being gotten rid of. But the Liberators are coming. So Warrior Chamber I fully expected, and like, yeah, your old models are kind of getting removed, but not really, because you can still play with them. They're just proxies at that point. So the Warrior Chamber stuff doesn't really worry me. So like using like old Liberators, you could just use old Liberators. It's not like their bases have changed or anything like that. It's just a different model for the same thing, right? At that certain point, because they'll all be relatively the same size. Prosecutors as well. You can probably just use the old ones if you've got the Javelin ones. What we haven't seen is a double hammered version. Maybe that will be in the multi-part kit, but possibly not. I suspect what's happened is things like Liberators are going, because they're being updated, and it's saying that War Scroll's being Legends did because the swords aren't going to be an option. But you can still use them. Not the swords. Well, you can still use the swords and just say that they're hammers, you know. So yeah, like, it's like, I guess from my perspective, it's like the Sacrosanct is weird. It's a weird choice to make. And like, the Sacrosanct didn't need to be gotten rid of. It absolutely didn't need to, because they were still fine. But everyone says that the Stormcast Eternals range is too big, and some of it needs to be trimmed down. So how do you trim it down? You know, you can't do both. Or do you just merge War Scrolls and then make it confusing? I don't know. It's an L from Games Workshop. 100% it is. They didn't get it right. I don't understand the Sacrosanct thing. I really don't. It's bizarre to me. Because Sacrosanct Chamber looks great. You know.
We got a chant rising from the crowd. We love to see it. But Mortal Wounds is a mechanic that bypasses all saves and essentially damage straight to the source.
I can't follow this at all.
So we don't talk wounds, we talk damage.
Yeah, damage
It's just
through the unit.
Yes,
Multiple things you do there.
And that's because in Age of Sigmar, of course, wounds.
I've got an entire Sacrosanct Chamber to paint. I'm going to do them because I want to do them. I'm going to put them into my Celestial Vindicators. That's my plan. So they're all built and ready to go. And I'm going to do it because, you know, they are. It's important, I think, that they get done. But yeah, no, like I said, Sacrosanct was strange. I don't think we'd have mourned the loss too much of the Vanguard Hunters so much, but people would have been really upset if the Raptors, the Vanguard Raptors, had gone. And I think they just I think they based it probably on the amount of money that was spent, honestly. Which says to me that's probably the reason why the Vanguard stuff remained. Because Vanguard Raptors have been a competitive choice, so a lot of people have bought them with long strike crossbows. They've just been at the top of they've just been in every Stormcast list for the last year. And I would guess that the Sacrosanct stuff just haven't. How much money would it take for you to dye your beard and go topless for a stream to watch the match the Wish and Temu streamers we have on? Oh. I don't know if you want me to sit here topless, honestly. Be careful what you wish for, basically. Like, you guys want me to do some pretty insane stuff for when we get to 100,000 subscribers, you know? Why is it gone? Oh, it's back.
Here, so it's sort of a war scroll, and it doesn't like an absolute full sin by the Stormcast. That's the word we're getting from the
I have a custom Lord Celestin I'm partway through converting. One day it will live on. Well, that's the thing. Random Salutation. They must be bringing... I'm surprised there isn't a Lord Celestin in that box. But there must be a Lord Celestin model that's coming, and I think it might come out as a multi-part model or as a, you know, post-box release model. Because I just can't see that it doesn't, you know? And there's going to be a winged hero, which is either the Venator or the Azeroth, or it might be a dual kit again, but there will be a winged hero that I think will come out as well. It's just not now it's going to happen, you know. So if when the Lord Celestant does come back, I'm sure it will. But when it does come back, your custom one absolutely valid, and any old ones as well technically valid, unless you know they have like a spear. If you look in the background, you could see the Celestant Prime. Where, Jasmine? Where? In one of the videos, is there a new Celestant Prime? I really want a new Celestant Prime, but that is not a model that was on that list of things that's going. So it's like, oh, we're probably stuck with that one for a while. Oh my god. Yeah. I think when you look at the models that they're producing, like the prosecutors alone, when you look at them, they're beautiful, those prosecutors, and I really want them to apply that to the Celestant Prime.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
That was a phenomenal game. We're going to have the replay of that using the new rules for your viewing pleasure on Saturday night.
So on the table here, the 3d6 came into play. 3d6 charge on the prosecutors got a 13. Some significance of the 13 there. Maybe foreboding for the Skaven.
It is. It's going to power.
Welcome to Games Workshop's live coverage of the Celebrity Spearhead show. This isn't working for me. Okay. I just can't really follow it. Not really. Okay. So guys, I am very optimistic about this. So as a companion to this, what I might try and do this weekend is, because I'm going to be trying out AOS 4 and Spearhead on Saturday. So what I might try and do is just record my thoughts as we go along. I obviously won't be able to film it when I'm there, because they don't like you doing that at Warhammer World. And also, I'd have to get lots of people to sign release forms to be on the video. So that's not going to work. But what I think we might do is let's just throw on some music instead of sitting in silence, shall we? There we go. What I might do is do a video about my thoughts on the game, having actually played it. If that's something you want to see, we will do it. If it's not something you want to see, I won't do it. The choice is yours. You're the audience. I am beholden to you and you alone. And my desire to sleep occasionally. But I'm very optimistic about this box. The box looks fantastic. All the models in it look wonderful. Loads of stuff for me to paint. Let me count it. Actually, that was something that we needed to do, wasn't it? Count how many videos this is going to be to answer that question earlier. So, minimum of 1 for the Clan Rats, Warplock Drazales, Rat Ogres, Rattling Warp Blaster, Warlock Engineer, Grey Seer, and then Claw Lord on Norbeast. That's 7. Liberators, 8. Prosecutors, 9. Reclusians, 10. Night Quester, 11. Lord Veritant, 12. Lord Terminos, 13. And the Lord Vigilant on Gryffstalker, 14. So there'll be 14 painting videos at minimum coming from this. I'm making a decree right now. If my name ever gets pulled at the end of Tales, it goes to Poppy. Okay. Okay, I will for you in a minute, Travis. So, yeah, there will be at minimum 14 painting tutorials coming out of this box. I have put together 8 spearheads. And with the box, that's 2 more. So we'll have 10 spearheads. I'm going to do my best. I need to talk to Liam. I'm going to try and talk to him on Saturday about organising when we're going to get together and try and film some stuff for that, to do a lot of spearhead content for you as well. So yeah, we can get all of that done. What if you hate it after playing on Saturday? Well, I always promise that I will be honest with you guys. If I hate it, I will come home and I will make a video and say I didn't think it was very good, and I'll be really sad. I'll probably be in tears. 15, don't forget the terrain. Good point, Texas Wargaming. 15 for the terrain as well. So 15 painting tutorials out of that box. Probably we'll do a sprue review. We always do. So that'll be 16 videos. So potentially as well, if we've got 10 spearheads and a book review. You'd like a book review? Book report? We can do rules content as well. Like, I'm really keen to just make the most comprehensive set of content. The most comprehensive set of content you've ever seen from this channel for this box. I might then have to, like, you know, crawl into a hole and sleep for like 2 weeks, but I think it would be absolutely worthwhile. It'd be great to see you do a collab with Midwinter Minis or Trovarian. Little difficult given different country. I'm always up to collab with anybody who wants to. If I can carve out the time, I'll always do a collaboration. Because it's fun. It's fun to meet other people. My offer stands, my beast skewer for yours. Look, I've just painted it, okay? I've only just finished it. How far away is the Honest Wargamer? I have no idea. I don't know where he lives. With anyone? Yeah, pretty much. He's in Nottingham. In that case, he's... How far away is Nottingham from me? Beast Skewer or Beast Skewer? With added eyebrows. Nottingham is 84 miles away from me. That's how far away the Honest Wargamer is from me. Like I said, I'm always happy to collab. It's a case of time and if we can get it done. If anyone wants it, you know. Because we can all make great content to entertain you guys at the end of the day. That's the thing that's most important. You did miss it, Forge Father Vulcan, but you can either rewind the stream and watch it, or if you head over to the Warhammer community website, you'll find a bunch of stuff. A bunch of information. Have you painted a Glotkin? I have not, Travis Woodside. I don't know why I full named you there. I have not, Travis. No. It's on the list of things to do, but I don't own one. I don't even own one yet. I'll slam you on Instagram at some point for a potential collab, my dude. This is my private channel. My channel isn't very big, so maybe one day when when I get more established. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Again, if I can help, I'll try. You know, I'm in a privileged position. I've got to 62,909 subscribers, so we're 91 away from 63,000. And my goal for the year is 75k. And based on the analytics on the last couple of weeks, that is not likely to happen. But things can change because depending on when this box comes out, at the moment I'm kind of like I'm stacking videos at the moment. So depending on when this box comes out, there's going to be content every day for possibly like 3-4 weeks. So everything will be okay, and I need to not worry. But if I can help, I will. The only thing where it gets a little bit difficult with collaborations is if I have to do loads of work for it, like pre-prep or whatever, because then it's like, when do I have the time? Think you can get to 69k for an AOS 4 release. Oh, I wish, but 7,000 subscribers in the next couple of weeks. That's unlikely. Sadly. $690 members, maybe. Clickbait vids and don't do that. I like this channel. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't like. There is ways I could grow really quickly by basically defrauding a lot of people by making stuff up. Just not going to do it. It's not the spirit of what we do. I make teaching aids. I make tutorials. I make stuff to help you guys with your hobby. So it's always going to be slow by that measure of things. Now, if I do a bunch of shorts and stuff, maybe that'll help. But you know, again, finding the time. Maybe I'll do that next week. Depends. I've actually got quite a lot on next week. It's weird painting and texting this late at night here in the US. I'm so grateful for it. Well, there you go. I like streaming at this time. Put arrows on your thumbnails. Some amazing, and you won't and you won't believe this in the titles. Yeah, you won't believe how I painted this. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, you won't believe how I painted this Carnosaur. Yes, you will. It's Contrast Plus. That's how I always do things. And those videos have great impact at first, but then they're not evergreen, because no one, you're not looking up. You won't believe how to paint this Carnosaur. You're looking up how to paint Carnosaur. And so like that video for the Carnosaur goes way down the algorithm than all the other people who've painted Carnosaurs, if indeed anyone has. I don't know. That's the question. It is what it is. I would love to, like I said, I would love to wake up tomorrow and be at 100,000 subscribers, but you won't believe how to paint this Carnosaur. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Problem is whenever I've done something that that it says how to paint but doesn't include the contrast thing in it, and then there's contrast paints in it, people get really mad in the comments. I thought this wasn't going to include any contrast paint, and yet there it is. How dare you? Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you, Travis. Pete, if you want to do that, that's up to you. But I would never endorse such a plan. Who's the bold capybara? That's too many characters now, James. Listen, all you have to do, right? All you have to do, you have to tell one friend or one person that you know, colleague, family member, mortal enemy. They have to come and subscribe to the channel, but they then have to tell one of their friends, mortal enemies, family member, loved one, whatever, to also subscribe to the channel. If we do that, if everybody does that, we'll get there. Morning, woke up in my cold medicine-induced haze. What have I missed? Graham, I'm sorry that you're not feeling very well. That sucks. What you have missed is the preview of Skaven Tide. So the entire box has been previewed. And what I'll do is I'll just very quickly go over here and show you one more time before we head off, because it's now 2:45. This is the new Skaven Tide box. Inside the box is 24 Stormcast Eternals miniatures, 50 Skaven miniatures, 4 terrain features, 2 range rulers, Warhammer Age of Sigmar core book, the Spearhead Fire and Jade book, double-sided game board, Spearhead card deck, and the General's Handbook cards. Loads of stuff. Here are some of the new models. Here is the Lord Vigilant on the Gryffstalker, the Lord Terminos, who is my new favourite miniature I've ever seen in my entire life. I love it. Lord Veritant as well, the Knight Quester, the Reclusians we've already seen, the Prosecutors we've already seen, and the Liberators we've already seen as well. Skaven, though, we've seen less of this. The Claw Lord on Norbeast, the Grey Seer, the Warlock Engineer, the Rattling Warp Blaster, the Rat Ogres, Warplock Giselles we've seen before, and then 40 clan rats included in the box, which is mad. What else is in the box, though? Of course, as we've already mentioned it above, we have all of the extra books, but we have the entire way to play the Spearhead contents of the box, contained in Fire and Jade, which contains all of the faction rules for every faction in there to play Spearhead. And of course, you get the plastic terrain. It's not cardboard; it's plastic terrain, which is very exciting. There's the new core book. It looks absolutely beautiful and lovely. Wonderful stuff. There's a new novel, which they didn't talk about on the preview, but new novel called Skaven Tide. And you can also win a copy of the Skaven Tide box set if you're subscribed to the Warhammer newsletter, which is exciting. It's cool stuff. So yeah, lots of stuff all around that one box. Did they mention release dates? No, not yet. But I can't imagine it's far away now. My guess is that it will go on pre-order on the... I've guessed that it'll go on pre-order on the 15th of June, and it'll be released on the 29th. That's my guess. But I don't know for sure. Before we turn this into Liam's chat. Liam has a lovely chat. Anyway. It's exciting stuff. So that's when I think June. That's when I think it's coming up. But I could be completely wrong. We shall find out in due time. However, if it is due to come out then, and Games Workshop does want to send me a box, they're going to have to send it soon. Because otherwise, I'm going to run out of time. Anyway, guys, it is time for the stream to end. Like I said, I'm really, really, really excited for this one. It looks amazing. The box looks incredible. and the models are incredible. I wanted to say a massive thank you to StarPilot94, Vlad von Carstein, Monadeer77, Travis Woodside, of course, Michael Williams, Lokir, Matthew Krengle, Vicious Goose 117, Rory McPhee, and Travis Woodside once again for all of the gifted memberships. To thank Travis for inventing the colour blue as well. Very important, we need the colour blue. It's part of the RGB space, you know. Massive thank you for the gifted memberships, the invention of the colour blue, the super chats, and the months of membership and support. Without you guys, this does not continue. So you guys are the best. Thank you very much. Here is the Hand of Farewell. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. I unfortunately won't be able to stream the other preview because I'll be in Nottingham, and I don't think my hosts would like it if I decanted my entire office. Mostly because I'd have to take it on the train, and that would be awful. So I'm going to... I've raised the Hand of Farewell. You guys are the best audience ever. I love you forever. And I will see you all very soon. And again, James Mathias has gifted 10 memberships right at the death there. You're an absolutely legend. You just want to keep me around, don't you? Thank you very much. I'll update that now. You're the best. Thank you very much, James. And thank you again to everybody else for hanging out with me tonight. See you all very soon on Saturday for another painting video. Isn't that exciting? The Lone Spear. Yeah, have a good one. See you later, guys. Bye for now.